guys read this yet? The To All the Boys I've Loved Before and the other two books in the trilogy. Have you guys read this, or have you watched this, or like, you must have heard about it because everyone's been talking about it because Netflix have suddenly released a film of it. And like, I'm down for a bit of contemporary YA. It doesn't take a lot of thought. I quite like having a little bit of a read of it occasionally. Anyway, so on Monday I picked this bad boy up. On Tuesday I picked up the second book and I've just started the third. I don't think I'm going to continue with the third. It's a bit too much of the same. But anyway, I liked them. They were fine. They were like contemporary YA. There was nothing like baffling. The main premise is the main girl, Lara Jean, writes 5 love letters to 5 boys that she loves to get over them when she's in her younger, like, high school years. Her sister then sends all these letters out to all these boys to get back at her, and loads of stuff goes down. The boys obviously find out that she used to love them. Some of them it's a good thing, some of them it's a bad thing. I mean, it's pretty standard. You can see where this is gonna go. So I watched the movie, right? And like, I didn't hate this. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it. Just didn't blow me away. So I thought the movie would be quite good because condensing this into like an hour and a half, I was like, okay, it might be quite a nice, cute little romancy thing they got going on. So came back from work on Friday night, got myself a glass of wine, turned it on, had a bit of ice cream, did the whole stereotypical mid-20s thing. I was so disappointed. I actually, like, I wasn't gonna film this weekend and now I had to film because I had to tell you how frustrated this made me, to the point where the whole way through the movie I was writing notes on my phone about things that were wrong. Like, just wrong. And it's so rare that I actually pause the movie that I'm watching to do anything other than top up my glass of wine. Like, that's all I'm getting up to do, or get more ice cream. But I was pausing the movie to write notes on here. Do you want to see what some of them were? First thing I noticed, Margot comes across as really mean and not caring. She's supposed to be standing in for their mother and living quite a difficult life, but she comes across as mean. Towards the end of the movie, she comes across as more nicer and caring, but a bit too nice and caring. They did it the wrong way round. She's supposed to get really angry at Lara Jean at the end of the movie and then eventually forgive her. She's not supposed to be mean and then supportive. And then let's carry on with the sisters. They don't look related. Could they not at least have got the right ethnicity in every single girl? Really? That was pathetic. How about Dad looks a lot older than he's supposed to be, and where is the neighbour across the road? Where's all the talk of the dogs and the puppy training and the where is all of that? It's not there. Kitty, she seems far too old. Like, far too old. She looks far too old to be like 10 years old, 11 years old, however old she's supposed to be. She looks far too old for that. I didn't like it at all. She also looks far too, like, American-y. You know, I know they're supposed to be half American, half Korean, but really she, like, all the sisters looked far too Hollywood, and it was just a bit like... The other thing, so the way the letters are posted, we're not supposed to find out that Kitty posted the letters till like 3/4 of the way through the book. I understand that they want to show Kitty posting the letters in the movie. I get that. You don't want to leave it up to like, ooh, how did this happen? But in the movie, Kitty doesn't do it out of spite. She does it out of love for her sister and wanting her to have a good time in high school. What? This girl is supposed to be like 9, 10 years old, that sort of, I don't know what age groups the like years are in American schools, but still, she should not be old enough to make that sort of emotionally intelligent decision or whatever. She, like, it's just not right. It makes sense that she would do it at that age out of spite. It makes sense like that in the book. But it doesn't make sense that she would do it out of love for her sister. She would not understand that. I just didn't like it. And that's another thing. So Peter, when he gets his letter, why does she faint? I'm sorry. Are we all pathetic little women that, like, we see a boy who realizes that we used to like them and then we go, oh, swoon? Or just rather like, oh my god, I can't deal with the pressure, faint. Really? Like, is that not really demeaning and really just ridiculous and would never happen and didn't happen in the book? She was worked up, stressed, frustrated, freaked out, all of those things, but she, at not one point did she faint, as far as I recall. Actually, while we're on Peter, can we also please, like, look at the fact that he, 1, was not attractive, that could just be my personal taste, but like, meh. And 2, why does he act like such a douche? Like, when they first go to a party together and it's just Lara Jean and Peter, and why does he talk like such an absolute absolute idiot with his friends. Like, really, do people really talk like that? Because if they talk like that in America, then I never ever ever want to go back to America. Why were they talking like that? That is not how humans interact with each other. It was like if a middle-aged person wanted to portray what the kids talk like, you know? Like, or like in books when authors try and write with text language. What are you doing? People don't communicate like that. In fact, I don't have a single friend, or actually even when I was like in my teenage years, I didn't have a single friend who would use that text language past the age of about 13. So why are you portraying people in that way? These people are young adults. Really? Let's also stick on Peter bandwagon. Why, when they draw up their contract for their relationship, does he then say you have to come on the ski trip? I'm sorry. He's supposed to use that as like a starting to admit that he likes her thing a couple of months into their fake relationship. So why, at the start of the relationship, is he saying, you know, we're gonna be together for 4 months? Because at this point, he's still supposed to be in love with Genevieve. So like, I'm sorry. Why is he inviting her on a ski trip? Which is like at Christmas at the start of the relationship. No, doesn't make any sense. I don't like it. It like condensed so many moments into that bit. And also her suggesting the hand in the back pocket. I'm sorry, what? That was supposed to be him suggesting it, not him being like creeped out by the fact that she would say that is the one thing you can do, or like confused by it. It was supposed to be him suggesting that he could hold her arse. And just Lara Jean in general. Why was she not a strong character in any way? She like lost her amazing sarcasm which she had throughout the book. She lost her depth, she lost her strength as a person. She lost basically everything about her that made her interesting, and she just became this like swooning, pathetic teenage girl, which just kind of made me a little bit ill. It was like, because we're now making it for a mass audience who are gonna watch this on Netflix, we have to make the woman little and cow down to the boy, and the man macho and strong and pathetic. And it was a little bit like, really? I mean, she was pretty far getting that way in the book, so did you really need to take it to the extreme for no reason? Like, really? It's like they took what little depth the book had, like little depth the book had, and they just said, oh, we better get rid of that just in case the ratings go down. Like, really? Do we not give people like a little shred of dignity? If I was Jenny Han, I would be incredibly frustrated at how this book was created and how the lead, Lara Jean, was portrayed. It was absolutely pathetic and kind of made me ashamed to have been a teenage girl. And I've seen Jenny Han posting about the movie on her Instagram, so I'm presuming she actually likes it, which, like, I find quite shocking. So another thing. During the party, Peter says, I love that you're not scared of her. This doesn't make any sense, because at this stage in the relationship, he still loved Genevieve, and although he was starting to like Lara Jean, he didn't see past Genevieve's like awfulness. You know, it took a while before he actually found out that Genevieve was the awful person that she was, you know? So like saying, I love that you're not scared of her. No, because he doesn't think people are scared of her at this stage. Like, or at least that's how I read the book. Like, I could be wrong in all these things, guys, but this is how I read the book. And I did not think that he thought people were scared of her. Otherwise, why would he date her? Really? Also, Margot took the video down, not Peter. Wrong. And Genevieve admitting that she's not as tough as she says she is and that Peter isn't as strong as he says he is. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Genevieve is not supposed to have that level of emotional maturity. She is supposed to be bitter, at least until like the second book. She is not supposed to be like, all of a sudden she has some kind of like epiphany moment and she feels like she can admit all of this to Lara Jean. That's not supposed to happen, and it doesn't make any sense for her character. If her character really was that conniving, she would not come out like that and admit all of that. It doesn't make any sense for her character, and this is what I don't understand. I get that the movie has to change some things to fit within an hour and a half. I get that it has to amend and adapt and adjust the story for a film audience, but the characters should at least still make sense. They should at least still flow. I don't get how you can just take out all the nuances of every character and just make it like, boy loves girl, boy pretends to be in love with other girl, girl loves boy, pretends to be in love with other boy. They date and fall in love and everybody knew what was going to happen within 5 minutes of the movie, but like at least we knew what was going to happen in the book, but at least there was some other like storylines to enjoy. And also, did we really, really have to make the token person in this movie all of the different token bits in one go? So, for example, the only lead character who was gay and the only lead character who was black was the same person? Did we really have to do that just to get them over and done with? Because that's what it felt like, and I was a little bit ashamed of that too. Oh, and the sex chat with her dad. That wasn't supposed to happen before the ski trip. That was supposed to happen after the ski trip. Because if her dad knew how, like, sexually charged that ski trip was going to be, her dad wouldn't have let her go, would he? Like, really? He's a single dad. He would never have let her have gone on the trip. It's ridiculous that he would have done. Like, oh, so the reason I'm so annoyed about this movie is the fact that it takes YA fiction, which is really hard to get adults to take seriously anyway, and it makes it even more dumb, you know? It takes any sort of depth that you could have had in a YA contemporary fiction piece, and it makes it even more thin and flat and like, so mind-numbing. Like, anybody who watches that, having not read the book, is gonna get such an idea of what YA contemporary is. Like, and I'm not even a huge fan of YA contemporary, I'm a YA fantasy girl, but like, it takes away any semblance of respect that you would have for the genre and just makes you go, oh my god, what did I just watch? I think that's Rant over, guys. I think that's Rant over. I can't even continue talking about it. I want to let go of it from my life. That is everything. That is goodbye, Jenny Han and all the boys that I have loved before. Farewell.